If you've been to Japan, you've probably seen this on every izakaya menu. The lemon sour. It looks simple, lemon, soda, alcohol. But this drink also has a misunderstood secret ingredient, shochu. It's not just a Japanese cocktail, it's a cultural icon. Yes, that's right, a convenience store canned cocktail has become as iconic as Asahi Superdry. Today I'm going to show you two ways to make this iconic drink. One, the old-fashioned no-frills izakaya way, and one more sophisticated approach that takes the casual canned cocktail and dresses it up to be served on a rooftop bar. Today we are tackling the lemon sour. Let's get started. Now, the lemon sour is a classic cocktail that has been around for ages, but its origins and popularity in Japan goes back to the post-World War II era and the economic boom in the 60s and 70s. Salaryman culture was heating up in Japan, and so was the need for cheap, refreshing drinks for after-work parties. The lemon sour soon became the casual everyman's cocktail, the first real alternative for people who did not prefer beer or whiskey. And then in the 80s and 90s, Japan experienced the chuhai boom. Chuhai being the Japanese shortened word for shochu highball. And especially canned shochu highballs and lemon sours flooded the ever-growing Japanese convenience store shelves, to the point that Strong Zero and Kodawari Sakaba lemon sour became just as classic and iconic of Japanese brands as Asahi and Sapporo. If you've ever traveled to Japan, you've probably crushed 1 or 5 of these at the local 7-Eleven or Lawson. And there has even been a recent sour boom in Japan, such as craft versions, frozen lemonades, and new creatively flavored sours, with younger drinkers choosing these sour style cocktails instead of beer for maybe a lighter and more refreshing taste. It's not glamorous, it's not complicated. It's the drink you can order 10 of in one night. Refreshing, affordable, and everywhere. Now, the spirit that we are using in this drink today is shochu. Now, shochu is a little misunderstood, and people may often confuse it with Japanese sake or nihonshu or even Korean soju sometimes. And it's basically a traditional Japanese spirit distilled from barley, sweet potato, or sometimes rice. And today we're using the classic ichiko, which is made from 100% barley. This stuff is the classic workhorse bottle for any izakaya all throughout Japan. Think of it like shochu's version of Smirnoff or Beefeater or Bacardi. And in Japan, shochu is known as kind of the healthier choice. And its boom has been pretty substantial lately, as recently shochu sales have even overtaken sake or nihonshu in Japan, making it the real national spirit of Japan. And shochu normally has a lower ABV than most spirits of its kind. For example, this bottle of ichiko is 25%. It usually lies in the 20 to 30% range, unlike most distilled spirits, which are usually in the 40 to 50% range. And I'd say the taste is very light, smoother than whiskey and rum, but a lot more nuanced than vodka. You can taste some rice and barley notes, and the taste is really strong when you use sweet potato shochu. And the low ABV makes sure that there's not really a lot of burn going down, and one drink definitely won't get you toasted at least. It's extremely versatile as a spirit, and I've recently been using it in place of vodka for some classic cocktails. And I've gotten some very positive results and some very interesting flavors that you don't get with just a kind of a neutral spirit like vodka. It's the great base for a lemon sour, or any sour for that matter, because it's strong enough in flavor to be tasted and not overpowered by the citrus, but also light enough to let that citrus shine in the drink and still let it be the main flavor profile. So let's go ahead and start building the classic shochu lemon sour. Along with the shochu, we're going to need obviously a lemon. We're going to freshly squeeze some lemon today, and I'm going to be using simple syrup as our sugar. This is a 1-to-1 simple syrup. Really easy to make. 1 cup water, 1 cup sugar, dissolved in a pan over some heat and put into a bottle. And then lastly, for our bubbles, we are using Topo Chico, as it's the most sparkling water that I can find in my area. All right, so let's get building. I have my highball glass already chilled with some ice, and I already have some ice in my shaker. First thing we're gonna do is 1 ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. 1 ounce right in there. Then we are going to do 0.5 ounces of some simple syrup. Obviously, you can change the ratios as you like. For me personally, I like a little bit of a more sour lemon sour, a little bit more lemon. But if you do use more sweetener, just be prepared. The soda water is going to lengthen it out a lot more. So to me, the sourer the better, because it's all going to balance out in the end. And then we're going to balance all of that out with 1.5 ounces of your shochu. We already got our ice, so it's time to shake it up. about 8 to 12 seconds, and strain into your highball glass. Now we're going to put our spoon in there, and then we're going to top it off with our nice, cold, bubbly, sparkling water, like so. Try to get it off the ice so it gets down in there into the drink. And then we're just going to give it a quick 1.5 stir, 1, 2, and then lift up on the ice. Perfect. And then for garnish, we're just going to drop in a clean lemon weep, like so. The classic Japanese lemon sour. Let's go in for a sip. Just extremely crisp, refreshing, citrus forward. I think I go right to, a hot summer's evening or a hot summer day by the pool. Perfect for an occasion like that. You get that subtle backbone of the shochu. Using vodka is never a bad idea, but it doesn't really add anything else like shochu does, other than just being maybe like just an alcoholic lemonade, which is fine if that's what you want. It's so good, it's so easily drinkable. I feel like I could just have like 5 of these right now. Drink responsibly. And something that I've emphasized a lot on my channel so far when making cocktails is the formulas used to kind of make any drink and then be able to riff off of it. Using the framework that we learned in mastering the old-fashioned, we know the essence of any cocktail is really the balancing of a base spirit, sugar, and bitters. Taking that into consideration when we move into sour-style cocktails, we have the spirit as shochu, or really any spirit that you want to use, as your base spirit. We are using simple syrup as your sugar, just like in the old-fashioned video, which can also be switched out with honey or maple syrup or grenadine or really any syrup that you want. And then lastly is the bitter element, which today we are using lemon as our sour component, which in this case becomes the star of the cocktail, the main flavor profile of the drink. That's what you get the name from, the lemon sour. And of course that can be switched out with any citrus that you want. We go from spirit, sugar, bitters to spirit, syrup, citrus. And now an entire new world of cocktail creation has just been opened up for us. And now you can start creating any sour style cocktail that you want using that formula. For me, I always like to take the amount of alcohol that we're using, in this case 1.5 ounces, and then split that when using the syrup and the lemon. For example, 1.5 ounces of shochu, I am using 1 ounce lemon and 0.5 ounce of simple syrup. If you wanted to split it in half and half, you can. It's 0.75 ounces and 0.75 ounces. Or you could go crazy sweet, or you could go crazy sour. The pendulum swings however you like. That's the beauty of discovering your own tastes, what you like, and what is balanced for you. Now, what if you want the casual lemon sour, perfect for the poolside or a standing bar in Shimbashi, but instead dress it up for those special occasions? Now we're taking the casual 400 yen Japanese pub staple and bringing it up to the rooftop cocktail lounge. To make this drink, we are keeping almost all the same ingredients. We are using the fresh lemon juice and we are using simple syrup, but instead of the shochu as the base spirit, we are switching that out for some London dry gin in order to raise the ABV a little bit, in order to make it more of a sipping style drink instead of a crushable fizzy style drink. And instead of lengthening it with soda water, we are going to be serving it up in a coupe with an egg white. So we're going to grab our tin, no ice in it yet. We're going to go ahead and squeeze out another 1 ounce of lemon juice. Again, we are going with 0.5 ounces of simple syrup, 1.5 ounces of our London dry gin. And now it's time for the egg white. If you've never used egg white in cocktails before, it is completely safe. The lemon juice will kill any bacteria to make it safe for you to drink. But we have to be sure we don't get any egg yolk in there, only the egg white. So I'm going to crack it. I'm going to have it drain into the tin like so. And we're just going to kind of let the yolk go in between the shells like this until we get most of the egg white in there. And it looks like we got most of it. You can toss the rest to the side, make a little omelet for later if you want. Drop it in. And now the reason I said no ice is because we are going to be whip shaking, which means we're going to be shaking without ice to get that egg nice and emulsified and get a lot of air in the cocktail to make it nice and fluffy and to kill any bacteria in the egg white. We're going to be doing this for a while. I would say 15 to 20, maybe even 30 seconds. Don't let it explode on you like that. It's going to be very airy. It's going to want to come out and get all over your shirt. Now we're gonna add our ice and give it another shake to get it nice and cold and to dilute. Let's get shaken again, this time about 8 to 12 seconds. Grab your chilled coupe glass, and we're just gonna strain it right in like so. As you can see, all that foam from the egg white is starting to foam up, and it's going to give a beautiful color. And there we have the lemon sour, a classier version of the traditional Japanese izakaya cocktail. Cheers. Oh, that's good. Bright, botanical, more aromatic, light and fluffy from that egg white. Definitely a slower sip. The egg white adds so much airiness and fluffiness to this cocktail, and such different textures to the other lemon sour that we had earlier. And it just kind of elevates the entire cocktail. Not to say that it's better, it's just an entire different style, depending on what you want. This isn't something maybe I would sip on the side of the pool or in a standing bar in Shimbashi. This is something, like I said, I would stand in a rooftop cocktail lounge with maybe a view of Tokyo Tower or something like that on a nice, cool, breezy summer or spring night. Perfect for fancier occasions, something you would see more at a classy hotel lounge instead of maybe an alley next to Shinjuku Station. And there you have it, 2 cocktails with similar structures and similar ingredients, but built and presented in 2 completely different ways. This is the power of mixology and creativity. And you don't have to go to bartending school or be able to speak Japanese in order to understand the classic lemon sour. Try to make these on your own and tell me what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.